we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of
Podcuzz.
The Podcuzz.
Yes, where cousins talk about
Pods, I guess.
Yeah,
Would make sense.
and everything in between.
So today
So, yeah.
we're gonna have our first live. I'm not gonna say what it is. Action show. But Alan, tell me again, where are we today?
Well,
I mean, what are we doing here? What's it called? The
Podcuzz.
Stay a while and listen.
All right. So, you're probably gonna hear the edited version of this, but
I heard that.
you heard some of it. To you, it's probably not a big update, but we have a new intro. I tried to do it live for the first time.
And I love it. I love the last bit you chucked in there. That's beautiful. Although it might trigger me negatively because this is what I heard shortly before going to war.
Stay a while and listen.
And I did not have
You
time
did
for
not
this. Listen, you know what, Decker Kane? We'll talk about this later. Right now, I gotta go do a quest.
But it fits the theme. I mean, we're here. We're talking about maybe Diablo.
Is that our quest?
It might be. Anything can be your quest.
I see.
But regarding my Stream Deck, which you asked before,
Yeah.
I do have some edits we can do now. So,
But you guys don't know this because you can't see it, but he has a very interesting contraption with 4 buttons, and with those you can sort of, I don't know, you tell me, what is this?
all right. So say something funny.
Wow, I don't even know.
That's all I can do.
Oh, you can beep.
It's the beep beep.
Oh, that beep beep. Oh, like if somebody says something cool.
I mean, I don't know.
Like I could
It
say,
can be something.
I have pretty hair today. It sounds like an error sound. Like wrong.
No, that's not.
Try again.
That's probably not true. I have another one right here.
Nice.
I mean, that can be some kind of transition.
If we switch topics, if one of us realizes that we have very consciously just switched from wars to toothpicks. Exactly. We'll smack that in.
So
Only if we switch from wars to toothpicks, nothing else.
only if we switch.
Yes.
Only if we switch to toothpicks.
That's
right.
right.
Okay.
Okay, from any subject to toothpicks. We could do that.
Yeah.
Then it's more often, because that's more likely in the genuine use of the word toothpick.
I mean, is it more likely if the likeliness is still 0?
But that depends on the commas. Like if we got 0.00000000005.
I don't think there's a 5 there.
It's just a
I'm
0.
Gonna
You were done when you said 0.
I think there's.
I was waiting
zero.
for the number because he said, "What do you do if it's on 0?" And I was like, "What? Go on."
I think
Is this sentence done?
the likelihood of me mentioning toothpicks in this podcast is about 0.
And yet you just did it.
I did, but
Gotcha.
that was your idea.
That was my doing. Yes.
So we're here.
Yeah. Let's dive
You're
in.
probably here as well. Have you been consuming some media in the past few weeks?
I have to admit that my eyes have been open on occasion.
You have been consuming media again.
Yes, I did.
Oh no!
I should.
You know what we were talking about.
No, but the horrible thing is it's the same thing it was last year. It's always the same. It's just it doesn't
Last year?
change. Yeah, we're fucked and it's getting worse.
Oh.
So
is that a movie or?
do we bleep that out? Did
Where
I
do I-
say fuck or?
No, we're not gonna bleep that out because
shit.
I'm doing that and.
Oh damn! Oh shit! That's right. You're just not gonna do it. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we have to put a like you have to be like an age limit for the podcast. So
I don't know. I think last time
Do you think can you play to 5-year-olds if it says fuck? Like if a kindergarten teacher feels like it's an important lesson for kids to know what a podcast is, and I'll just give them a segment. I'm not gonna look for something specific. I'll just play something. And then it's
The first thing
just
that comes
about
up.
when you said fuck.
I'm pretty sure. No, I'm not sure about anything.
We just have to
Maybe
make
you have
sure.
to indicate
we have to make sure this episode is not educational enough, so that it's worth it showing it to toddlers, and then, well, we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Did you like Hoodwinked?
I liked Hoodwinked.
Oh, really?
I liked it a lot. Yes, I liked it a lot.
I thought we talked about it and you didn't like it.
No.
You did like it?
I liked it. Yes. I loved it. It was really nice. But it's funny. I was completely fucking blind to it.
Really?
Like they caught me.
You were not
blindsided.
suspecting the...
No.
It's an old movie. Can I say it? No.
Spoiler. The villain.
The villain.
I did
you
not
did
spot
not
the
suspect
villain. No.
You
No.
did not
I
suspect
didn't
Grandma to do it.
No.
Oh no! Now
I
I've
never
told
thought.
everyone.
I never thought she was gonna do it.
She was gonna eat herself.
And she did. Yes.
She obviously did. No, but
she ate the wolf,
okay.
and then they had to cut him out of her belly, and it was messy.
yeah, it's an old story.
No, but seriously, for those of you who haven't seen the film, it's Hoodwinked is a movie that's sort of about Red Riding Hood and the whole fairy tale. But it's an animation movie. It sort of it sort of makes fun of fairy tales like Shrek does.
Yeah,
It's sort of
that's close.
comparable. It's not the same thing. It's different, but
Pretty,
it's kind of
it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Exactly, yeah. It's just a very
Yeah.
funny movie about sort of the structure of fairy tales that we know and is intentionally setting it apart and sort of messing it up.
Yeah, and I think hinting at modern entertainment by making it what's it called? A detective drama.
Yes.
That's
sort
where
of what people consume nowadays.
Right.
It's sort of yeah.
Where you realize, oh man, that's new. I never heard of that.
Yeah, but what I love is that they reinterpret it. It's not like you'd have like Red Riding Hood, but in a modern version.
Yes.
It's a completely different story. There's different edges and climaxes. It's different. It's not. Yeah.
There's also
Did you know that the voice of Red was Anne Hathaway?
when I first saw this movie, and I don't think I've seen it since, I did not watch it in English.
I see. Yes.
It was Anne Hathaway.
It was Anne Hathaway who did the voice of Red. Yeah.
When
There were a few. Zibbit did the police commissioner.
Okay.
Zibbit. Yeah.
Who's Zibbit?
Is a rapper. I thought you might know him because your brother is into rap.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know how you pronounce it.
I always thought there was an X.
Yeah, but it's like
Exhibit. Because like
Exhibit.
at a
An exhibit. I get it.
okay.
Oh shit! Why didn't he put an A there at the end?
Where did they
Exhibit
put what?
A.
Exhibit A.
Then I
because he
would've got
probably was.
But guys,
Exhibit
I didn't get Eminem, so I'm stupid.
Oh right,
I'm stupid. What I mean, the name, the short. I'm just stupid for this world. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
But
Don't get
yeah,
lost in it.
he did the voice, and there's a few famous
Exhibit
guys.
did-
There's a few famous people in
really?
this film who did voices. Yeah.
Man, why did I not watch movies in English when I was younger? Because I have a friend, and that's completely off the path, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. I have a friend who
You have a friend. That's nice.
Yeah,
I think it's
fuck
cool.
off.
I think you deserve one. You're a nice guy, and you know. No, go on.
I got completely lost because
Your
I do
friend?
have a friend.
Yes.
I have multiple friends, but this one,
The real one.
this
This one is real too.
this specific friend
Yes.
told me
Who totally exists.
who totally exists and is real, by the way.
Yes.
She is real and she exists.
She is real. Yes.
She
She's
is
real
real.
too, like the
She's
others you told me about.
Yeah, like all the others as well. She
Those who like you. Yes.
did watch movies as a child. I know, shocking.
Incredible.
But they only watched movies in English when they were children. Their parents
What?
were not English speakers.
No way.
I mean, they knew English. Like,
Yeah, they could speak it, but what?
they could speak it,
why
but
would
they
do
didn't
that?
speak English with the children. I don't know. Just
Did they want to raise their kids bilingual?
I don't even think so. But I do not know why
Bilingual.
or how.
To those who didn't. What?
True, bilingual. No, I don't think that was the reasoning behind it. I just think they kind of enjoyed themselves watching the movies in English.
Oh, they had a good time just watching it in
Right.
English to sort of make a challenge for
Yeah,
themselves.
like you or I do,
Mhm.
and the kids just picked up on it quickly because children learn much
But you
quicker.
do.
Of course.
Obviously, you do. If you see, that's the
Right.
thing. Yeah, you
and
got to,
her
yeah.
English is very good now.
Mhm.
Just because
I bet. The
probably
pronunciation and
the
stuff is
pronunciation
perfect, yeah.
was there from early on, and she probably doesn't have the biggest vocabulary, but as long as you have
No, but the thing
pronunciation.
is, and that's the thing that I always feel like if you learn to speak a language, I think the first thing they should teach you to speak is because you want to speak a language, which means you want to communicate, you want to exchange, you want to say something, you want to hear something. And if you look at the the origins of the words and how the fuck it's structured, the sentence is structured, you bore the shit out of me. But if you have Captain Jack Sparrow trying to make a point, and I try to understand what he is saying, I'm focused on the content and not on the transportation, which is the language.
Yeah, and you're kind of pressured into, you have to understand what he's saying, or else you're not going to keep up with the movie.
But it's also like if you watch toddlers, and it's like the first thing they do is not to write, they read.
Right, true.
They speak.
They
speak. I'm a fucking
speak.
kid. They're not reading.
Oh, first of all, they're just listening.
Yeah.
And then they're starting to speak.
Yeah.
Like,
of course they don't read. I meant to say the first thing you do is to speak.
Don't you know?
And
don't you remember when you were a toddler and you were just there reading?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. That's all I did.
Mm-hmm.
No, but that's something a lot of modern educational scientists are also proclaiming, that we should
adjust.
We should adjust our learning methods, especially in languages, to how we learn them, as we learn our mother's languages.
Well, that's also a thing, because I think what I realize is when I see people who speak another language which is not their native tongue, I can tell that they cool, eh?
Nice one.
Just folded that in there. When they don't use the language they grew up with, and they learn another language, you can tell that it's like if you want to learn the word leaf in German, you shouldn't think leaf in German equals leaf, blatt.
Yeah.
But you should learn the word leaf again. Look at it, point at it, and say what it is. Direct your thought directly to the object.
Yeah.
Just as you did when you learned your first language. Don't learn to translate your word into another language. Because with grammar you're gonna get fucked anyway.
True.
It's gonna be different.
You cannot translate that.
It's gonna be pointless. So sooner or later it's crumbling, this method. I think it's really interesting to focus on a point where, like, if you're interested in a language, watch people speak in that language. I don't know, it could be politics, it could be gaming, it could be anything that you have an interest in. Look at that in another language, something that you are fascinated about. And the fact that you focus on what fascinates you sort of distracts you from the fact that you're actually learning a language. And boom, there it is.
I'm currently looking for Finnish movies. I'm not even kidding, because I'm learning Finnish.
Finnish movies?
Finnish with a double N.
Oh. I
but
know
there are none that I knew of, or I did look up some movies, but they're not available around here. So I was just browsing movies from Finland, and didn't really get around to seeing any of those. But your advice was actually better, to like get into gaming or education and
anything. Nowadays you can feed yourself over YouTube. You can just consume, and if it's topical, then it's more likely to go with it. But it's the same with films. That's exactly the thing. You're interested in the point of view of the individuals in the story. You're invested in the story. You want to know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You want to know the motive of the individuals, and then you pick it up. But there's like places where this can be a real pain with I have the problem with French, that they don't really articulate the words all the way through, or at least the way they write them, and on occasion they shorten their words, or they pronounce them a bit flat, or they just they rush through.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when I watched a movie, what was it with? It was with Vincent Cassel and.
I do not know my French movies, so you're gonna be stuck here for a while.
I don't remember that. And then they had the dialogue, and sometimes the dude would just make. Was it Jean Reno? Or was it a crime movie?
I'm gonna say yes.
It's possible.
Probable.
Let's go with it. But the thing is, when they have that, sometimes they just make a noise. It's just. And I was like, what the fuck did mean?
And
the other one goes, no, we can't, because this and that. And I'm like, what? Did he say something different? All I heard was,
and he understood it.
Yeah,
he
said, thought like he sort of a complex message.
Sure,
I have to reply to this, and I get the replies sometimes, and I'm going, okay, I picked up the subject matter again because the other guy asked him about this, but
where did we start?
Yeah, exactly. What was that?
Yeah.
It's like to me, it's like when Chewie in Star Wars is talking, and then Han Solo says, "Yeah, Chewie, we should take care of the doors and stuff." I'm like, he talked about the door. I would have never fucking figured it. And with French, that's very hard because I think French is very. They presume that you get it, and they don't take their time to sort of like they don't care if you didn't get it. I said it, so to speak.
I don't know.
Not necessarily in a mentality wise. I don't want to. I don't want to stereotype the French, but
I do.
Oh, you
sorry,
go right
sorry,
ahead.
go on.
Go right ahead.
Sorry, go on.
But what I say is that genuinely it's a language that has, for instance, Italian has a very clear pronunciation. It's a very everybody who says that word says it that way.
And I mean that happens as well with French, but you don't pronounce every single letter.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. It's difficult to get in. Because in Italian, they really say it the way it's on the page.
Right.
And in French, I know that it's like, if you know it, you can also communicate obviously in French.
True.
So they say. But yeah, you have to kind of like, it's harder to get a start, right? Mm-hmm. To get a kickoff, to sort of say like, I get the basics.
Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the funny thing about Italian as well is if you just learn the basic reading rules, you don't know any Italian, but you can read everything. You can read it aloud, and it sounds like you're Italian.
Ah, yeah, that's it, exactly.
That doesn't work in French, because when you see just the word AUX, you probably wouldn't know how to pronounce it.
You probably wouldn't say O when you see AUX next to another. You'd be like, what?
You'd be like, aux? The
aux
cord, yeah, I get that.
Aux, yeah.
I got that in my car.
Aux. But that's the thing. I think the French, and that's a theory I have, and I hold to this one.
Right.
I think the French were asking themselves when they started to do the writing, like when they started to write down their language, and to sort of get deeper into that sort of how do we write? We need to come up with a common spelling.
Yeah.
I think they sat in a circle and they asked each other, how wouldn't you spell that? And he'd be like, well, I don't hear an A in that.
Yeah.
I don't hear a U in it. There's no X. Oh, that's right. We'll put that in.
That's right. Oh, we always forget about
X. That's O. Because that's what people are going to think when they learn that word.
And the funny thing is, O. Like, O could be AUX. And O, like in high, could be written HAUT. Like
I see. And in that situation, that's one of those examples where you kind of have to need context.
Yeah, right.
To discern what that individual word means.
True.
Because
now I get it. Yeah. I get what you mean. But the problem is now I'm still at the stage where it's happening quite often that I don't understand 3 words in a row. In French.
Yes. Yeah. Or maybe consecutive 5 words of what? And I'm still struggling. I wouldn't consider myself a fluent French speaker.
Oh, you wouldn't consider yourself a Frenchman?
Not quite. I was gonna say but I think Frenchman. That's
a Frenchman.
Not gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to use French the other weekend because we had I was at a party of
my condolences.
Yeah, thanks. Condolences for using French or having
French.
Yeah, I chose to. I
just fight with you. I love French. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to learn this language. I'm not
discriminating against French.
I'm not. Yeah.
Only when they're eating snails.
I'm not de-advertising the French unless the snail's halfway in the neck.
I mean, France is a nice country. I've been to Paris and
you have.
I have, and people they all told me food's gonna suck. It's gonna be dirty, and there's nothing to do except look at the Louvre or something like that, and
swing by the Eiffel Tower.
Exactly. But it's gonna be crowded and dirty and everything.
It's not nice.
And I had great food there. I don't know why.
Cool.
No idea why. It was great food.
First stereotype out of the way.
The moment we arrived, we saw them cleaning the streets, so it wasn't that dirty the whole week, I think. Mm-hmm. And I didn't visit the Louvre, so I went the complete opposite way.
So you went for the cool French experience instead.
Apparently, and there was even some places to go out to. Quartier Latin is apparently known for being outgoing.
Quartier Latin.
What
is like a welcoming area where you're like...
Yeah, there's some bars and I didn't see clubs.
Okay.
But that's probably just me.
That's the thing about clubs too.
True.
They're always one alley down.
True. One alley down and just the door.
Tell the guy with the gun, please don't shoot me. That's the password.
Please don't shoot me is the
He
password.
lets you in.
And it's gonna get risky when please shoot me is the password.
Shoot, don't please me. Then you're.
Hey, please me if you want to.
Oh, shoot me is the password.
Yeah, shoot me is the password. Then it's gonna get dangerous. If you're gonna go to the wrong club, hey, you dead.
You know what? You can go inside. I'll shoot you there. You're not gonna have to move you.
I'll shoot you when you get outside. You stay Raven.
Totally.
Right.
Crank style.
Ah.
Crank with Jason Statham.
I know
and he's like I think it's I don't know what it is. I say Statham. I know it's wrong.
Is it
but I say
Statham?
Jason Statham.
What is it, Statham?
I don't know.
It's just wrong.
But a lot of people, I think people say Statham.
Or is it not Jason? Is it
Maybe it's
Jason?
Statham because he's British and Statham would be American.
What is
Statham. That's Jason Statham.
Statham.
Where with the British say,
I like.
do you mean Jason? How did you pronounce it? Statham.
Statham.
Jason Statham. I don't know.
I don't know either.
My mom said, and that's a beautiful idea. Do you want to make cash?
No.
Okay.
Yes. I said yes. I said yes.
You said yes.
Please make cash.
If you want to make cash, you make a website. You launch a website, and you make a world tour, where you go with a little tape recorder and a microphone. Unless the tape recorder has a microphone. In which case you go with a microphone, which is in the tape recorder. So a tape recorder with and microphone.
And okay.
With or and. You just need a microphone. It doesn't work otherwise. Okay.
And recorder.
You hit record and you ask every celebrity and famous person just to say their name. That's it. You just record them saying their name. And you can go to the website and you can see Joaquin Phoenix. How do you pronounce that? You click on it and you hear him say Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know what he would say. He would say Joaquin. I don't know. I don't know.
But there's celebrities who purposely don't do that. They don't say their names, like Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, him.
Well, that's a bit.
He purposely doesn't say it. He at one point, I think there was an interviewer who asked him about his name.
Okay.
And he said, "How would you pronounce it?" The interviewer tried it, and Jake was like, "Yeah, that's
we'll go
perfectly
with that.
fine. That's perfectly
We'll go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's. Yeah, but that's already based on the pre-exchange. He is already
aware.
assuming
Yeah.
that it's gonna be annoying. We're gonna do the name thing. If everybody could just go and click and really see how it's pronounced, he wouldn't even have to ask and he wouldn't even have to try. He could just say his name and he wouldn't even be crazy.
I think he's also kind of leaning into it. Like
Maybe
it's a bit of a branding
yeah.
thing. Because I think it's also kind of cool.
But it's
nobody
interesting.
knows.
I have two other examples. Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser, he was the mummy.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Okay, you know.
But I thought it was pronounced differently.
It's funny. A lot of people said Fraser.
Yeah.
But I saw him in an interview, and he said it's Fraser, and he doesn't know why people.
Really? Oh, that's
it. Doesn't. There's no H there, but everybody says Fraser, and he doesn't get it.
Yeah, I've only heard Fraser.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure because I saw this interview fairly recently where he said it's Fraser. As you write it, how you spell it is how you say it.
Don't quote us, but.
And then there's also Steve Buscemi.
Boomy.
No, it's a longer name, but I can't say
Buscemi.
exactly. Apparently,
like
there too. I hear tell that he himself pronounces it. Well, that's funny actually. Some people read Buscemi.
Yeah, right. As
and
in
say
Italian.
Buscemi. Some people read Buscemi.
Right.
And say Buscemi.
As like
Yet he
German or
himself says Buscemi as an S, pronounces an S. Buscemi.
Oh, but that's pretty easy. Like he's just wrong.
No, but scientist is also SC, and you say scientist.
Yeah, but there's an
you
H.
don't say scientist.
There's an H.
Okay, I'll find another one. Sci-fi is ski-fi written, and you say SCI,
there's
and you
no,
say sci.
No, but there's no H in sci-fi. SCI. There's no H.
In Buscemi, there's no H.
Is there not?
No, it's spelled as Buscemi. I think.
I mean, this started off as a joke anyway, because he's never wrong about his own name. but
fair point.
But I like that you engaged.
Let's go into that, which was actually a good joke. Sorry, I was too focused on
I love that you engaged with it. But okay, there's no H there. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, but I'm googling it.
Yeah, just Google it.
Because I'm not sure. No, it is. Yeah, it's Buscemi.
Okay, so he's right.
So Buscemi, it makes
Buscemi,
sense.
it makes sense,
It
yeah.
makes sense.
Buscemi.
It's probably correct.
He's
It's
probably
his
right.
fucking name.
He's probably right about his
Yeah.
name.
Which, by the way, I think is a brilliant and extremely underrated actor.
Okay.
I think this guy should have an Academy
How
Award.
so?
He should have an
Ooh.
Academy Award.
That's a big. He should.
Because he is particularly diverse. I think he's
Right.
a very diverse. I've seen him like in 8 movies, and I've never felt like, he's doing this one again. And there's so many people who have Academy Awards where I think, he's doing this one again.
Okay.
And I think
yeah.
Steve Buscemi, does he have an Academy Award? He doesn't have an
No,
Academy
no,
Award.
I don't think so. Just go on.
I think he has the range, the acting range to absolutely pull off. I mean, he deserves an Oscar, I think. And he's played so many support characters. He's always
Yeah, that's
the
true.
buddy or the guy or somebody who's extremely essential to the story, but he's never the lead.
Yes.
And I wonder because I think he's a very gifted and talented. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. A lot of actors who people say only do supporting roles have also lead roles. But did you look whether he's got lead? Did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
But it's just the movies that are like mainstream that just kind of roll past you.
True.
He's always the
Yeah.
support.
Yes.
I'm sure he's done a lot of leads in his career, no doubt.
No, but yeah, but he
But-
I remember him
But
as
it's like
the,
he's in
as
a
the
lot of
supporting
blockbuster
character.
movies,
Yeah.
and he's never the lead in the blockbuster movies.
But he always performs.
And he always performs, and he's
Yeah.
always extremely versatile and extremely. I find him very interesting to see. Usually, when he's in the shot, my focus is on him,
Okay.
and I realize this a lot. Even if like there's the lead and he's trying to plan and figure something out, I think Buscemi has a nice way of sort of creating trains of thought that I can follow, and I see in his face what just happened.
Okay.
You know that thing
Yeah.
where he doesn't talk, but he said it all.
Yeah.
I think he really got the
Oh,
skill.
all right.
Yeah.
I to be honest, me as a less media literate person, I know him. I had to Google him to remember who he is, but I never looked at him this way. But if you tell me that, yeah, it makes sense. He's always got these engaging characters, which are not usually main characters, but
Yes.
he's always interesting in some way.
Exactly.
Which I never
He's always-
noticed.
Yeah.
But subtly,
Yeah.
he's subtly interesting.
I got another one who is on my list for that. Who is to me it has the same. Is just underrated regarding his talents. Is Stanley Tucci.
Oh yeah.
And he's
Totally.
often sort of the supporting role or like playing a sort of a character who's also on the ride.
Isn't he also sometimes the bad guy?
Yeah.
That
he
happens
was
as well,
in that,
right?
was in that crazy oh goodness.
What crazy?
He was the bad guy in yeah. No, Stanley Tucci. What was that? Is it Heavenly? No, it was something.
Oh.
I loved him because I really studied Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
When I say studied, I watched a couple of his movies very consciously, not just seeing him in a
Yeah.
movie, but seeing a movie
But-
because of him.
But watching and thinking is a lot harder than just watching.
That's right.
That's right.
And he's I think he's one of his breakthrough movie
Yeah.
was The Big Night, I think. That's a movie early 90s. You probably wouldn't have seen it.
No shot.
It's a movie about a restaurant he's an Italian moved to America who's trying to build his life in America. And he has a restaurant and he's really trying to get people to come to his restaurant, trying to generate some revenue.
Yeah.
And obviously it's hard, and he's really having a tough time to keep it going. And and the film The Big Night, because it's about this night where he's trying to, just gather people and just
night as in
darkness.
time.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I thought night.
And he wanted to do a big night where he said, like, look, I'm going to invite a lot of people who are important and all the people I know who have influence and everybody to sort of reignite, re-spark that restaurant. Yes. And I'm not going to spoil where this is going. It was very interesting. It was very beautifully made. I love the fact in the end of the movie there's a scene where he gets in the kitchen and I think, in the movie his brother is in the kitchen already, and he goes into the kitchen and another co-worker is also in the kitchen and he starts to make eggs. And he just makes eggs. Like, right.
That's the shot.
And it's I if I'm not mistaken, it is one take because I've been watching pretty closely, and you could tell the way he pinched the salt, the way he did it. You could tell this guy knows it. When he was just doing eggs.
Yeah.
To be fair, I mean, he wasn't like doing some.
He knew how to do eggs. I mean, that's.
But he does. He did it cool, and and I'm always thinking as an actor, you're also thinking like, what if you were nervous in that day? What if that shoot happens and you're like a bit shaky? What if you're, I don't know, if you're not in the zone or whatever, And as a performer, well, you always have to be aces, but it's incredible the way he pulled it off. I thought it was really cool. And not just making the eggs, the whole movie. So, No, but I think he's cool. I think he's also directed. He's also directing. I think,
I just picked up a few movies that I remember. There was The Devil Wears Prada. But
that of course was genius.
Yeah,
Nigel
great.
was just,
great.
It was just lovely. I want to hug Nigel one day in my life.
Do you mean Inside Man? Do you mean that one where he was the freaky movie where he was the villain?
That's true. Yes, that's right.
Or is it Citadel?
No, not Citadel. No.
I don't know Citadel, so.
But that was one. I remember that one. Yes.
All right.
Where I think he's being interviewed.
I just figured out these three.
Yeah. Lovely Bones. That's right.
What's the movie about?
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, exactly. Lovely Bones, and that's a movie where he plays a pretty crazy person and an introverted guy, which is great because he plays with the element of, like, if as an actor you can sort of like, obviously you have multiple options, but it's great not to do something. That's amazing to see somebody not doing anything.
Yeah,
but
right, of course.
Doing nothing, like really
performing
exactly,
nothing.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Performing somebody who reveals nothing.
That's interesting.
It's really hard.
I've heard about it a lot, and obviously I'm not an actor, so I don't know shit. But I've heard about this a lot, and
if you love it, you are it. What I always say with acting.
But I think I've noticed it in the back of my mind, but I cannot perceive it. You know what I mean? I don't see it.
You feel the effect of that.
Exactly.
But you didn't really see that was the element that gave it the yes.
But probably everybody feels the effect. That's why it's so great.
But I had that with Silence of the Lambs. You've surely seen that one. And with that film, he also, like Anthony Hopkins, really plays with reduction. Okay. Not going to what Heath Ledger did with his Joker is what Anthony Hopkins didn't do with his Hannibal Lecter. An observing individual, a calm, collected, sort of static individual.
Yeah, and that's what gives you the creeps.
That freaks the fuck
He
out.
doesn't do it. He doesn't do what you think he would do.
Actually, the guy says when he ate another guy's face and he ate his tongue, his pulse never got above 85. Even when he ate his tongue. However, that's a little side. But the thing is, I think that's something you can play with, and I think Stanley Tucci is a master of tempo and rhythm.
Yeah.
He knows how long to pause. He knows when to break the pause. He knows when to stay on point and when to stay awake. He has the ability to do both, because there's a lot of people who are quiet or who are loud, and then they're typecasted because that's the role, supposed to be loud. You are loud, all right, go for it. And I think Tucci...
That's not what you do with someone like him, or him specifically.
He's a chameleon. You can throw any role at him and he'll rock it. And you'll just be like, wow, you played the dude as if you were like that. And he's just, absolutely consistent,
Now you've added like 8 more movies to my to-watch list. I mean, it's just growing.
Yeah.
Just because I have to watch him now. No,
it's really Tucci. He has not all movies are equally great, I think.
I mean, that's standard.
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, but I think my favorite movie with Stanley Tucci, the one I really would recommend, not only for him because it's just an ensemble of another freaking degree.
Okay.
And that's Margin Call.
Margin Call. All right.
Margin Call. It's a movie about the financial crisis, and I didn't know. I knew because of the cast that I had to watch it.
Yeah.
But when I started watching it, I thought like, well, the financial crisis, it's not really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I don't
I
care
get you.
so much for money and all that stuff and all that capitalistic extremism and all that shit. I don't know if this is gonna capture me, but it really is about people. It's not about necessarily. Well, it is about the financial crisis,
Obviously,
but it's
but
about
there are people affected.
yes, and it's about. It's great how you can, as somebody who doesn't understand all this stuff.
Yeah, the
I don't
financial.
understand- yeah, I don't know how
Yeah.
it works, but in this way, I get a set of individuals who are like in this chain of command, or like in this sort of in this firm, and you sort of get everyone's point of view, and you can point at any individual one and say, you were the asshole. You weren't the asshole, you weren't the asshole, and you weren't the asshole, and you weren't the asshole, but you guys fucked up.
They still screwed it up.
Yeah, you fucked up bad. But it's not like that
pinpoint
transparent. Yeah, you can't just say, oh, that one made the mistake, because it's complex,
you
obviously.
could probably,
you know?
okay. Ah, that sounds interesting as well.
And I think it's very well
Margin
done, yeah. And it's also like relationship. I mean, as an actor, I think if you're interested in acting and you enjoy the different nuances and sort of the different degrees of depth that an actor can bring to the table, I think it's worth watching this film, because in this film, status is key. One is the king and the other one is the servant. And there's these acting rules, like as an actor, you say the king never plays himself. It's the people around him who play that he's
him.
the king.
Yeah.
And he can
simulating power dynamics from bottoms up.
exactly. I make him powerful by putting myself in the weak spot.
Okay.
As a performer, and then as an actor, you're trying to weaken your performance. You're trying to be not too clear.
Yeah.
Because that makes the clarity of the other character all the more sharp.
Yeah.
And it's not just his edges, but it's my roundness that makes him so edgy. You know. And it's like, and the status.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting. The high status, low status is extremely interestingly put to display, because obviously in a company like those who were most affected by the financial
banks,
crisis,
the brokers.
exactly. There's clear hierarchies. Like everybody has his position, and everybody has his moment to talk, his moment to play, and nobody is allowed to step over the line.
Who do you answer to?
Exactly.
Who answers to you?
Yeah.
Right.
And if two speak at the same time, which one is gonna stop talking? It's obvious.
Someone fucked up, and you know who.
Exactly. And this one is just a higher standard, so status. So whatever, you just shut up and listen, nod and agree.
Doesn't matter what.
because this is boss, right? Like those elements are played with extremely well.
Okay.
And then you can have a conversation at a table where you have like 8 individuals talking, and so much happens. But they just sat at the table and talked.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
But so much just
But
happened.
there's a lot. Okay, I like that, because I like character development and story development through dialogue.
And this film I think is very powerfully written, very well shot, and it's simple actually, because it's really, it's all within the negotiations and the realizations of the severities of the problems that carries the story. You just need a table. You don't need,
they can build tension.
Exactly.
On that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
They obviously chuck the budget in. You always have screens flickering in the back of those, those lines of finances, money going up, money going down.
Wall Street
Street
cliches.
Exactly, but they also made atmospheric. Like they have sound effects that are in it's score, but it's also just sort of notes hanging there. And it's very interesting how that interplay with music and people, like that atmosphere that suddenly happens.
Music is mostly there to build atmosphere in movies. Right?
Yeah. But it's very well used in this one too. Yeah, I think everything, like really from the editing to the scripting to, well, actually that was working forwards to back, but it's like every post has been taken care of. It's beautifully lit. It's exquisitely shot, and the angles of the cameras, and also like the stills of the cameras and the way they move, the shots also of the big city, because it's in New York.
Yes.
And it's all of those elements are just beautifully used and incredible. And the cast is
you said so.
The bomb.
But I'm gonna nail you down on something else real quick.
Oh, just go ahead.
And I'm gonna use
done.
Oh,
there we are.
next topic. You said you have to watch this movie if you're into acting, or if you, I don't know how people can get into acting.
Yes.
And that's kind of interestingly what I wrote down on my way here. I mean, let's say I never had this, but I can really see people getting there. I'm watching a lot of movies. I'm engaging with celebrity talk, or I'm drawing connections between movies. I'm learning about cinematography and stuff like that online. Where does an actor or an actress start? Like, where can it start anywhere, or do you usually visit a school, or do you just start going for calls or casts?
Well, I think I have a. It's an interesting question. It's a complicated. It's a difficult question.
That's what I thought. That's why I thought I would.
And it's definitely one I hesitate to answer because, as you can tell, I'm not a star, so I haven't figured out the formula all the way yet.
But I thought.
Yes, guys. Yes.
But I thought that's why I should ask you, because
I think I've been at an acting school, and a friend of mine who went to that school before recommended it to me, and René Grönefeld, a very cool actor. I've seen a lot of performances, and he was really inspiring me, because I figured out I wanted to become an actor, and he was like the first time I was actually in contact with an actor. And we talked a lot about celebrities and their stories, and like, what's the recipe for success in acting? How do I get to the top? And I think he put it beautifully, because he said, every famous actor or performer in the film arts, they all got to their position because of their individual story. And it's them being different than other people going for those jobs that makes them the perfect person for the job. But there is not a recipe, because if there were, it's like the diversity that it requires is one that you can only acquire by being a certain
different.
Yeah, to be a certain kind of individual. And it's like you could look at the success stories of so many celebrities, and you would never guess where they came from. You'd be like, how did you end up here, right? A famous example is Johnny Depp, who didn't even want to become an actor in the first place. He wanted to play the guitar in a rock band. And then, business picked up, and he was like, all right, well, then I'm an actor. You guys decided this, and that's what it is.
Exactly.
And I think, and when you hear that, it's so bizarre, because people are tearing their hearts out trying to get there, and this dude made it, even though he didn't even really want to.
He probably turned a few offers down first. Or...
Exactly. Probably it was something like that. The fact that he was picky because he didn't even really want to do it made him stand out, because that's what we never hear from an actor. Yeah, he doesn't really want it.
Made them want him. Probably.
Exactly. And that's exactly why he individually had this key, or this path, found this way into it. And of course, it's his versatility and his diversity as a performer, of course. His intelligence and the craft and the work that he puts in his craft. But essentially, if somebody is successful, it's because you couldn't copy his story.
So okay.
That's a very good answer.
No,
which isn't an answer. I didn't give you a single thing to do now.
I loved it. So what I'm getting from this is, I'm gonna challenge you. What I'm getting from this is, if I am destined to become an actor, they're gonna find me, so I'm not gonna do anything.
Yes, but is letting yourself be found the key element that denies you the destiny? The isn't having to what I mean.
No, I get what you mean. So I'm probably, but then
Well, the thing is that a lot of people are not.
Most people are not destined to be found.
Yeah, a lot of performers who are really great, Daniel Day-Lewis or for instance Johnny Depp as well, are not people whom you would intuitively, when you see them be themselves, assume to be so successful. He's a very in the way he's it's kind of changed. It's got a bit of a sort of a, what do you call it? There's something in Johnny Depp's look that's changed. I think he knows now, but
they say Hollywood.
But when they made interviews with him but even today, I think he's very discreet. You're not really sure, does he even want to talk? He's uncomfortable with being in the spotlight. And you're thinking, dude, you're a fucking actor. You are Captain Jack. How can you sit here this edgy because somebody asked you a question? Why can't you just chill?
Yeah, you can't. You should know how to talk, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he's uncomfortable. He's not really. He doesn't really. Now, I wouldn't say that for Daniel Day-Lewis because I named him at the same time. Daniel Day-Lewis has this individual way of being which just fits, and therefore he probably had to sort of one way or another reach that spot.
Okay.
But he's not somebody who... He doesn't convince you by asking you for it. I think he does his thing and you will see him do it and that will capture you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get it. But he had to get there at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to show some sort of engagement from your side as well. I mean...
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But I think it's yeah. I guess... If you have a passion and a knack for it, you'll probably get up after you fell the 30th time.
Okay.
I think that's something. I think that's something like that's concrete advice I could give to say like you and
you're gonna fall
and you really like now we're talking about the real work behind it. You have to update your profiles and you have to keep your photos current. You have to be ready to do. Nowadays, there's a lot of you do a lot of auditions. The first audition you do on video, usually you
just send it in.
You send a tape, right. And you just have to be ready to. They write to you on Monday that they need somebody by Wednesday, and then you're like, really? Oh fuck, man! Usually they give you 2 evenings time.
Yeah.
But you just have to be flexible and say, okay, fuck what I was gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna do this tape and I'll send it.
But on a work day. Because they're aware most actors are working part-time.
I don't know why these guys, like they start a production, they start planning so early on. Yeah. They know so early on what kind of people they want. But it's like, we'll just pick somebody out of the basket once we'll need him. When it's time for casting.
Okay,
and then they cast, 2 days later it's casted. And the thing is, with auditions also, if you haven't heard from them within the first week, you'll never hear from them again, probably. Because
don't expect to hear back.
They always say like, "Oh, we'll let you know," and often they don't. Sometimes they do, but if you then you're like, "Well, how's it looking?" They're usually then usually it's already decided that you're not it. So, and I think you shouldn't concern yourself with it because once you've sent in your tape, once you've done your performance, hey, you've done your part. The ball is not in your court anymore, as they say. It's their turn.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And don't care. Go and apply for the next job, assuming that you didn't get it or that you did get it. Say it doesn't really matter because as an actor, you don't really get a job that's something that you like. You don't work at the same place for 10 years unless you're in like the Big Bang Theory or something like that.
Okay,
where you continuous work. But the normal,
that's not normal.
Normally, and that's the thing with acting. If you find an employer who thinks you're exactly who I need, then you have to work for 6 months.
Yeah.
And he's like, and that sucks. It's like shit, man. I swim all fucking day.
It's the eternal part-time job.
Exactly,
right?
eternal part-time. You said it.
Because even like big shot actors, they're still doing part-time in theory.
Yeah.
I mean, they have holiday in between because
they
don't need to work.
But it's true. It's just job by job, and you never know when and what the next thing is gonna be.
I mean, that's why it's. I myself view acting as one of the most brutal jobs regarding working conditions.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's draining. To me that would be too draining.
I've done a few shoots where I've done stuff for free. Where it was just about, and I, personally, I think, it's also important to just get out there,
Yeah,
if you really want to become a successful actor, then you do want to act, and if you really do want to act, then you should do it. And to say, well, I'm not that cheap, is something you can do. That's a wise man's game, get into it first. Like, if you're somebody, you can be greedy, but
it's, right now, you have to take...
It's risky. I mean, Jeremy Irons, one of my favorite actors, he applied for everything when he started out. He went to every single audition, and sometimes they would give him the job, and he was like, "Thank you, I don't want to do it. I'm just practicing my auditioning." He was just about the practical experience of being in a casting environment. And he wanted to be able to deal with the pressure, so he applied for everything, even the things he wouldn't do.
Okay.
Then they said, "We give you the job," and he was like, "I don't really want that job. I was just trying to get used to speaking in front of you people."
That's also...
Which is incredible.
That's also a crazy mindset. That's a crazy mindset, but I like it.
It
that's
makes
also what
sense,
makes
yeah.
him. That's probably also what makes him different.
Exactly,
And
that's exactly what I mean. That's
gets
something
him.
you can't, you can't just clone that. It's
And
his nature and his guts to do that.
Yeah.
Is what earned him like the chances that he got. But I mean, he's also just talented. I mean, if you have
Of
raw
course.
talent, that of course adds to the odds.
I mean, that's always. I think that's just the base. That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the base expectation, because you'll probably not find a successful actor that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, but and I think that's something I think if you want to get into acting, what I didn't really think about when I started out, when I wanted to become an actor, was at the work around it. It's like 5% performing. And it's 95% looking for jobs, looking for agents, contacting these people, sending those your measurements and all that stuff, only to hear that they're not going to take you anyway, but they needed the measurements of all the people they're not going to take.
Yeah.
And it's all that stuff. They like the casting, like the people who cast you, they say, send me everything. And then you have to send them everything, but eventually you get nothing.
Yes,
But
it's a big investment on your part.
It's exhausting,
and you get nothing back.
If you enjoy it, like I enjoy acting, I even enjoy if I do a little for an ad for something I don't even know what the fucking product is, and I just apply. I just send a demo tape to just for the fuck of it. I even enjoy that. I just enjoy acting, and I think if you enjoy acting, you should act.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I for myself, because I don't know anything, as I already said. I always compare it to what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about football, playing football. I never made it either. I will not make it, because I can say that. I'm 25, I'm donezo. But
No fucking way, man.
yeah, that's not...
You're a fast learner. You'll pick it up. You already got it, man.
But,
Because you've done the work, though.
no.
Some of it.
But I'm not even close to what pros do in football. That's insane.
Yeah, the elite. That's all, but that's the same with acting. Like the elite is the people. I mean, the people. If you look at those who are like at the top of most branches, these people are on fire.
Yeah,
like they are running.
Like
that's like
They are regarded, like actors and athletes are probably regarded as kind of lazy and lucky.
Yeah,
to be
and
in
musicians too. You think, oh, you write a song and you're a star.
Yeah.
You chill around, have the best of life.
But actually, they're workaholics.
Yeah,
Like, there's just work.
But it's the same thing as you said, like as they say with, like, for instance, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
He did miss a few baskets before he became the legend that we all grew to love and know.
that didn't miss a basket. Close to.
Exactly. But that's only because it takes the work, and it's
Yeah.
something that just comes through. You can
True. So, because I like to do recaps. To recap, could you stand by this quote from me? You have to put in relentless effort, or you're not gonna make it. But if you make it, you are kind of destined because of who you are to make it.
Well, it's difficult because
it's probably too short.
but it's a good summarization of it altogether. But for instance, when I look at somebody like, for instance, Jeremy Irons, I wouldn't say that it comes naturally to him. I don't think that he's not. I mean, obviously, I'm 100%. He's the elite. He's one of the elites.
Yeah.
He's just dude is on fire, and that dude is giving his everything. But I'm not even sure if he had to.
Oh, really?
It's this thing of. I mean, of course, he had to give everything to get where he was, but it's that thing about being able to turn down stuff before you're anybody.
Yeah.
To have that guts, to have that, also that, like, the confidence. And if you have that, and if you do that with style, you don't. I mean, Orlando Bloom played Legolas, I think, pretty straight after his acting school.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't do.
Was that his breakthrough role?
That was his first and breakthrough role.
Really?
He kicked off. He went from acting school to Legolas to World Star. And
World
it's
Star.
possible. But he's good, you know? I mean, there's no denying. And he's doing the work as well.
Yeah,
because that's what
that's
you can
true.
tell. And I think with acting, if you're questioning it, just look at their bodies. These guys are ripped.
Yeah.
And what they do physically is, in many cases, I think, just a part of what they do psychologically. What they go through. I mean, the lengths they go through, because you have to be able to live with your own boredom as an actor, because you create habits. But habits only happen when they're natural, but they only happen naturally when you're not conscious on them. But you want to consciously grasp a habit, so you have to sort of consciously wait in your self or in your, you know.
So everything I'm doing subtly now that I'm not thinking about, that my brain just automized for me, you have to kind of think about purposely.
The problem is it goes away once you think about it. You don't do it because when you're conscious about it, you don't wink in a weird way. But if you're not thinking about it, it happens to you sometimes. And then you have to catch that moment and realize, oh, in my half conscience now, I consciously perceived that I didn't consciously do that. I mean, you know, those are, it's an example of study. There's also like the practical study of the time, the development of the people, like of the character. Where was this person born? What's this person gone through and everything? And then you have to find habits and behaviors that are plausible for somebody who might be in that situation.
Yeah.
But to discover these things, you have to be brutally honest with yourself.
Yes.
And you have to live with. Yeah.
If you realize something negative, or I don't want to say negative about you, but if you have any shortcomings regarding your ability to act or something like that, you have to recognize these things. Because
what I've realized, that's very interesting. What I've realized is I've played a lot on stage. I've done some theaters, and I've also played some Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet.
I know. I was there.
You were there, actually. That's true. And I played Cassio in Othello. And with the thing with those ideas that you have is that you think, oh, that's going to work. People are going to think that I thought that, and I'm going to design the train of thought in a particular way. And I had the hardest time letting things go in the beginning. Because I thought, that's my... Beg your pardon.
Cheers.
I thought, that's my sort of my bread and butter. That's the thing I can hold on to. That's my sort of... Those habits make the character. And if a director said, nah, I don't want that, stop doing that thing, it will kill me.
Yeah, how do you let
kill
go?
Me. It was really like, it shattered the roots of what I tried to design.
Because that's how you built the
exactly.
I'm going to think of it as the person or the role.
Yeah.
And now he's just like, you got to get out of there.
And that's the thing what I think is beautiful to see. Like, I think that's also something that separates the good actors from the bad actors. A lot of people have this image in their heads of, like, you know, the actors like arrogant. I need this and that on set. I won't start until I've been getting my own perfume and whatever. You know, all that stuff that they need to live in their happy cloud. Yeah. And there's a lot of them like that. And especially, I think it was last generation. It was worse. I think it's gotten a bit more loose. But this thing, I think the real stars are completely friendly. Yeah. And completely constructive. And you have this image of them, you think, oh, it must be somebody arrogant. Like a good example or a great example would be Meryl Streep, who played Miranda Priestley in The Devil Wears Prada. Fame. I mean, I didn't even have to finish the sentence. You all knew what I was talking about.
I know that woman.
She's the legend. She's absolutely amazing. And she has this kind nature.
Oh really? I have no idea.
No. She really does.
Never seen her off the movies.
No, she doesn't. She has also she's had a speech where just recently I saw a speech where she was very political and she was addressing certain issues of mobbing in our society, accepting that people are being downtrodden and that we don't feel like she's really like she's standing up for the people who are in need, and I think she's a really nice person. I mean, and the thing is she just, I think she has that charm. Okay. She has the charms that it takes, but the beautiful thing about it is it seems like it doesn't matter. It's like she's judging people by their behavior, not by their bank accounts, not by who's in what position. I might be mistaken, but I believe that Meryl Streep is one of those people who is appreciative if somebody brings her the coffee, and is not somebody who's like, she's really...
Well, I think the issue with that is also that we only hear about
the scandals.
We only hear about the scandals, right?
True.
There's no one, Meryl Streep said thank you when her intern brought her coffee.
Like, she was so kind, you wouldn't believe.
You wouldn't believe, that's why you don't hear about it. But I'm going to have to be honest with you. And it's going to get serious. I usually prepare the playlist and
Oh yeah.
thingy.
Yes.
What song we put in today? I didn't this week. So since we have been doing last, it was always the theme of the last song you would play. Was
Yes.
the last day on earth.
Yes.
The last song before you die. The
Yes.
last song, very sad stuff.
True.
Do you have any idea on what song to put? Because if not, I had just had a spontaneous idea.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Just surprise me
Okay.
with your thing.
What's the last song you listened to? Because last song, you get it.
Oh, that's good.
You get it.
Oh, that's good.
I'll just open my Spotify and it'll tell me, but I don't know about you.
I have to check whether I can. Sometimes I close the program, but I have to see because iTunes when I close it.
Oh, I don't know if that's gonna fit, but I think it will. So for me, it was "Sing for the Moment" by Eminem.
Oh, cool.
You know, you probably know it.
Yeah.
We finally got. Oh no! Usually I
It's
just
a good
don't know
track.
this song.
It's a good track.
It's
With
one of
me,
his-
I have to say the last song that is on my,
And you
my
played.
Apple Music still selected, is one that I was listening to while I was shuffling.
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 Oh,
I
you were
was
still
looking
rushing
for
through.
something else.
Okay, then.
And then I was at home and I thought, now I don't need a song because now I'm at home. I have to do
True.
the showering and everything.
Then do you remember which was the last
I have
song
the
you
pad- I have
consciously listened to? What do you have a music?
How did I
history?
select it to listen to?
I don't know. The last song you listened to. I don't know.
Well, it sort of saves my if I shuffle through
right.
them,
You
it'll
can just
remember what I've been.
You can
And I
just
think
go
the
back.
last one I think it was Who Is Tyler Durden. I think I lingered with that song for a while.
Oh really?
I'll have to listen to the start of it real quick to make sure that
You
that's
have-
the one I mean.
You're such a movie music guy.
Yeah, I'm really always on that. Yeah. No, but it wasn't Who Is Tyler Durden. I didn't listen to that one. Oh, it was that one. But that's a weird song too. Okay, it's a bit.
Are we gonna go with weird?
Dream. Yeah, well, I can't choose. That's the last thing
Yeah,
I
I mean,
listened to.
yeah, that's true.
It was from Fight Club, but I like it because I see the scene.
Okay,
Okay, let
Can
me
you-
set the stage for you guys.
I'm all here for it.
Okay.
Wait,
Fight
wait,
Club.
wait.
Cool. Fight Club. One of the best movies. Watch the movie. I would never tell you anything about this film because I'm scared you haven't seen it and I don't want to spoil a detail of this movie. It's just perfect. Is all I say.
You're just making me really want to tell them everything about it. But
Don't you fucking do it.
everybody's watched it.
No, not
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Kids are being born today.
Kids are not listening to this.
Well, they
We have indicators. Don't you remember?
No, but they grow up and then they listen to this because they think we're so cool, and then they think after this I'm gonna watch this movie, and then
Oh.
they try to catch up with the cultural deficits they have because this episode will be out for years already, and then they'll be like, "What historical event might I have missed?" It's the podcast, which I'll listen to first, and then there's that movie which I think might
it's
be
just
great.
these two things.
Then
Then you
they'll
gotta
know, and that's why we won't tell. But
All right.
it's the scene, and those who know the movie really well, like me, will remember the scene and see the scene. And I think if you just listen to the music, it sounds a bit freaky.
All right.
Freaky.
We're going with freaky today. I like it.
But
I like it.
if you know the scene, or if you like,
I'm trying to remember, but you're not telling me.
I'm not telling you yet. The song is called Chemical Burn.
Oh, there was some burn.
And it's very weird because it has these chill elements in the song of guitar play and harmonic chords, and then it swaps to high-pitched sort of white noise sound of burning.
Okay.
It's really crazy. It's a crazy song. I'm sorry, guys. I was listening to that. Like,
Wait. But what scene is that? What scene
It's
is
the
that from?
chemical burn.
But I don't remember the chemical burn. I
I'll
do
tell
remember
you about the chemical burn after the podcast, but I don't want people to know about the chemical burn.
That is a great idea.
Isn't it? That's how we're gonna do it.
So does
Because
it,
by saying the
does it
name of the
spoil
title,
anything?
I've already spoiled something.
yeah, somebody's gonna
It's-
burn themselves. Ooh, watch out.
Well, maybe, but maybe it's a chemical burn of chemically incinerated fire.
Okay, you're gonna do an outro. You have 18 seconds from now.
And this was it once again, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you had a great time here at the podcast. We really gave you all. You had best of times. We've been through subjects like wars and politics and jokes and movies and fun, so it's something there for everyone.